and welcome to the Midday News. FM here in Accra and Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. Pay FM in Bupe, Pad FM in Dalmango, and Kekeli. Petrol Soil, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Soil is always a diligent for masterminding what he describes as a false
position that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 election, a fabricated annexed the state.
We have details of that and hear from President Akufo-Addo. He's urging Ghanaians.
Before when I was president, and I know that the IMF is not averse, to sitting.
IMF deal sparks concerns as economists fear it could threaten creditor confidence.
This moment, they haven't even signed off.
Stability for the next 2 weeks as Ghana Gas shuts down its gas processing plant and offshore gas export facility.
Definitely for us as power producers, once fuel is required that our people, our managers supply.
We have sports.
Madu, head coach of Samatex.
And many unemployment and high cost of living in the country. And protests have brought many changes there.
There's a lot of tear gas there, guys. Okay, right now we are heading
to Nigeria, right here on the Midday News. You're on Joy. As a false narrative that he was responsible for the death of his late wife. The president also says the same group of political opponents are behind him. Speaking at the Ghana Report Summit under the theme dealing with misinformation and disinformation in the upcoming attacks.
The impact of misinformation and disinformation on the electoral process cannot be exaggeration at the polls. It can also create confusion and mistrust, undermining the credible division and amplify existing tension, posing a risk to social public order as seen in other parts of the world. In the run-up to the and Madam Sani, I'm not here to say numerous false and malicious numerous rumors about my health intended to cast doubt on my ability of having sold all of Ghana's gold reserves. Again, the 2012 election cited quotes designed to stir ethnic tension. 24 elections, they are at it again. A fabricated document entitled of the state. These experiences underscore the importance of discerning truth from false, misinformation and disinformation.
That's a president. Did the president give?
As the suggestion is from his statement, these are all false narratives. Might have been responsible for this narrative, but the president said that they went to the extent of one who was responsible for the murder of his late wife. Then he goes ahead to point out becoming the norm, and as we've heard from the president, stating that the politics are false narratives, with this controversial book as well, which is called some grant scheme by members denying categorically that this is the same belief that Ghanaians collectively must fight against fake news.
Well, blessed
IGP here. Fortunately, the Chief Justice is also here, where the National Security Minister has been raising concerns about trust for state institutions in court. But there's data suggesting that there is, of course, decline in Ghana Report Summit to look at ways by which they could collectively address these.
Underway, and we've been hearing from President Akufo-Addo already, other speakers, including the IGP, Dr. also attending that particular event. We'll give you more updates from that. Let's focus now on the economy, and former President John Dramani Mahama's announced economic concerns. Leading economists have agreed to secure better terms for Ghana is seen by economist Professor Stephen Ade as a destabilizing move. Investors. We'll get to hear from him, but first, here's what John Mahama said.
I've been in an IMF program before when I was president, and I know that the IMF is not averse, to sitting and talking debt repayment. I think that we are at the upper range of taxes on profit, and so I do not for that industry, but I do think.
That's former President John Dramani Mahama by IMF extended credit facility, especially after they've received disbursement and then there's a change of government.
A new Ghanaian government in 2025 or the IMF program that we currently have. These programs can be subject to review and adjustment, particularly when a new administration comes an economic agenda. And in fact, about 95 countries negotiated new deals with the IMF for different reasons. And we have countries, beg your pardon, in 2019 and then Ukraine.
Professor Stephen Ade has been lambasting the former President Mahama on this particular view. Here's why.
During an election year, then still, it is of very little relevance because the IMF is basically the money they are giving us by itself is very little. Influences what both the bilateral to the creditors and the both bilateral things which the politicians on both sides will say, because they think that country. What he has to tell Ghanaians is his way of getting us out, and the solution is not renegotiating with the IMF.
And Prof, I mean, is it even possible to bring them back to the table?
That's why I'm saying that he's just basically, because if they don't sign off, our program will be compounded.
That's Professor Days. This is because the Ghana National Gas Limited has announced an immediate shutdown of its gas processing plant, efficiency and uninterrupted gas supply. Joy News editor Fred Smith joins me announcing that the Ghana Gas is about to undertake some. The independent power producers are demanding alternative source of
maintenance of our power systems infrastructure, including the gas pipeline, is a very important thing. Once maintained industry practice, and it is required that during the maintenance period. Definitely for us as power producers, once fuel is not coming, it's going to affect. So that will be made available should be optimized for proper output or for adequate output. I think
That's Eli Plim Afetogbo there. My colleague Samuel Mbura joins us on power within the next 16 days. What's the assurance you're getting, Mbura?
Well, Emefa, the CEO of what I'm learning is that the situation as it is now needs an urgent attention. The reason they have to shut down those plants to embark on the routine.
There'll be some stability.
Well, our sources from the ECG and Gridco point to the fact that Gridco is the distributor, whilst ECG is the supplier on the situation on the ground.
On what we are learning. So far, it's the full quantity. SIMA, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, SIMA, AI Accountants, the German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Well Foundation, Bridging Gaps for Positive Youth Development, and the mop-up exercise. An EC official told Joy News that the process has been smooth so far, with minor challenges, and expect
whatever you are doing is going directly into the voting praying machines. They are connected to the internet, and so whatever registration you are doing is going straight. It's not after the registration that we have to now transfer. Everything we are doing is online. So if you've read here, the person registered at Menchia, but then because it's online, we've been able to...
EC official on the University of Ghana campus, my colleague Kenneth JC.
About 70 students have been registered, but not even turn up to register as soon as their exam is over. So the queue largely consists of students because the EC system identified their details already captured onto their system, largely because this process is being done online and defined.
And I'm curious, colleague Kenneth JC, what a timing for that. But let me take patiently to complete the applications. First, let's listen to the Ashanti Regional EC boss, Francis Osensia.
The process live.
Thank you. In Ashanti region, and per my checks from these officers, any of the 46 students. Then campus.
What kind of cooperation are we looking at with another stakeholders?
Everything as used to be.
That's Francis Osensia, Ashanti Regional EC boss there, speaking to us earlier. My colleague Nana.
Well, the process has been smooth. Emefa applicants and so these party agents who are around here, but for the applicants, it has been a very good process. But then I have
so good. I think it's very well. It's been done very well. Numbers are not great, but the process has been very smooth. Everything is going on well.
Thank you so much, Emefa. And so that is the former mayor of Kumasi, Kojoba.
That's my colleague Nana Bwachi Dankwayado. I'm also live on the Joint Headquarters, and the Electoral Commission is charging political parties to focus by the National Security Minister Albert Kandapa about looming chaos should it dispute security concerns. However, Director of Training at the Commission
elections will certainly test the strength of our democracy, our ability to prevent electoral violence given to address their grievances. And indeed, I've heard some senior people address their concerns when it comes to elections. So this can create a situation that,
like we have always been saying, elections are won at the polling stations. So the voting issue with the results declared at the polling station. The issue of political parties, my advice to them is that they should get the copies of the polling station results. They'll be calling the results from the polling station and they'll be tabulating. So if you have been doing is always to use the law to work. And what we have been doing is also involve the stakeholders to be with us. You can bear with me, like Joy, before. So when you project the media people were to have different results from us, then you can say that our results should be results tally with ours.
And definitely, there your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol saw always a delightful experience. We've been hearing from President Akufo-Addo taking on his political wife amongst many other smear campaigns. We return from the break. Thousands pour onto the streets as they stage a 10-day protest in the country in a similar fashion to the Kenyan protest.
Which is awful.
This is what the Olympics is all about.
Get closer to
time.
Get DSTV to get closer to the 2024 Paris Olympic Games from 26 July to on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. And rest assured of fuel that lasts. Hear the sound.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
And found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold, to the health passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy, to the seamstress who turned ears to you. Your next big win.
Every 1st July 2024, over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to tickets as a group. Grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock you will.
The luckiest.
Yeah, on the Midday News, let's do sports. Mufta.
Any boxer in there. So one of the boxing managers, Michael Amubidiako, says that it is criminal not to have any boxer.
We need to do better. We can do better. These are the countries invest heavily in their amateur program. And these boxers then means fundamentally that means we are doing something wrong.
And came from boxing, and now unfortunately there's no boxer in this year's Olympics.
Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson joins me in studio. What are we learning, Mamisi?
So this notice is by Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast to Professor Johnson Nyako Boam. The appointment ended and terminated on the 31st day of
1st August.
I beg your pardon. Forgive me. Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah. Extension of your appointment as Vice Chancellor of the Council's meeting today, which is 1st of August, is void, and consequence of the aforementioned renewal is by reasons of the following. The compulsory retirement age for public servants is 60. And so there's more on this development story we'll bring into you in subsequent bulletins.
Thank you. Nigeria in a 10-day protest in cities across the country to demand an end to what they describe as bad governance situation.
The protesters, it appears, are not allowed to go. Right now, as we speak, they are not allowed to go to the Eagle Square. You can see the tear gas. They are not allowing them to go further. They have stopped them at the National Council. Right now.
What's currently happening on the streets of Nigeria, really, station to what happened in Kenya. And MNJ,
Jackie.
It's trending. That's the hashtag.
Ghana's Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And we've been checking some of the comments. Presence of security officers at Lekki Toll Gate. Same set of people would hide in their holes. Poor government in Nigeria.
Well, and this one says that Nigerians are not joking this time around.
Another thing that is trending, people are still talking about yams.
Okay.
You know, Kwesi Chase Dakwa's interview asking, are we sure the chef, KKD chef, is not Chef Smith? Call me boy for JP says, in for a friend, please.
What says the yam? 60 cedis
for a tuber.
Yeah.
I bought Indomie.
Enjoy 99.7 FM. There's more when you log on to myjournline.com. We have Living Word with Pastor Snow.
Diabetes, viral infections, knee, body, skeletal pain, and more at German Ozone Therapy Services, including IV therapy, steam ozone sauna, and gas facials, microneedling, and comprehensive dental services. Opposite Allied Heights. Call us now on 0550 242222 or
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Where the laughter